I don't know if I'm going to edit anything, but I started the reading and I didn't really like how it was going. So the cards that I pulled are pretty much saying there's something that you're being impatient about that you want to happen as your manifestation. You want to see it unfold and appear in your life, okay? So you have patience. You have to understand that it's not in your control, and you need to let it happen in divine timing. And I know people hate to hear that, but it is what it is. If you want to accept responsibility for your well-being and be impatient, it's not only going to show that you're not grateful for what the universe is about to bless you with, and behind the scenes are putting the situation with, it could be a friendship, relationship, okay? And it's funny because when friendship came up, I was like, watch relationship come up, because I always say it doesn't have to be a love relationship, doesn't have to be that, and relationships doesn't really mean it, but when you have friendships and relationships, it kind of does. But relationships come into your life for your highest good, and friendships come into your life for just, a reason. I think they're pretty much the same thing, but yeah. So the situation that you're dealing with right now that you want to come to fruition, it's not in balance. So you actually need to not have any judgment and think of the situation as bad or good. It's the balance says I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Again, judgment says I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. I've said it in other readings. Judgment to me is when you're judging somebody for doing something that you wouldn't do. You wouldn't do it the way they're doing it. You wouldn't do it the way that they're handling it. But you have to understand, we are all here learning our lessons that we made for ourselves, either from karma or karmic relationships. Like, you don't know why a person is in another person's life. You don't know why their path is leading them to that. You know what I mean? But it just is. And I did a video on that too. It just is. It's not good or bad. But as human beings, there's duality. There's man, woman, black, white, good or bad, hot or cold. There's always the opposite. So instead of looking at it as bad or good, balance out the situation of bad and good, scale it out evenly, and just balance out however you want to be in your energy during this time. So instead of being upset and not being able to be patient, just look at the things that are going good in your life, look at the things that are working out in your life, not the things that are not. Because if you focus on the things that are not, one, you're not going to be grateful for the things that are, and two, you're focusing on something out of lack. So it's going to stream into all your other aspects of your life that are going to be in lack. So you could start losing money, or business aspects, or friends, even, relationships, just anything, but also you're going to have more things that you're going to attract that aren't going to work out in your favor, which also can block this manifestation to take longer, because you're blocking it from being able to manifest on its own, rather than you coming into the picture and, So right now, what it's trying to say is be patient, be grateful, because right now there's on here, it even shows that there's a lot of lessons that would be beneficial and that could help you, and it will help you with embodying the happiness, gratitude, and look at the more positive things that are going on around you if you don't focus on what isn't. So it's also trying to teach you a lesson on how to be patient, because in life, good things take time, So it's like you can either take the shorter road that's, not as rocky. You're not going to have to deal with as much to get what you want, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be in balance when you get to it. So then you're just going to actually make it a longer road because you're going to have more things to have to deal with. If you go on the longer road, that takes more time, that you have to have patience for in order to get to where it is you want to go or what it is you're trying to manifest in maybe this friendship or relationship, it would be better off, because the journey of the emotion has a lot to do with patience and taking responsibility for your own being, your own well-being, on how you want to feel during this. So again, without judgment of this person, situation, friendship, relationship, without judgment, let them do what they have to do. And the more you let them do what you have to do and don't try to control the situation or butt in, like, discipline your mind, discipline yourself to just focus on the good. Be grateful for what you have. Don't focus on what you don't have, because then more things are going to manifest that you don't have. If you're grateful and are in a state of happiness for the things that you do have, you'll get more. If you're looking at it as you don't have this right now, you're looking at it as in lack. So your other relationships can start having lack, your money situation, if you have a business, you can lose business. It doesn't have to be just money or anything. It can be a vibration of lack in anything, like literally. So what Spirit is trying to tell you is to just trust that they are bringing this situation into balance, and don't judge this person or relationship for it not coming together as fast as you want it to. Have the patience for the universe to get this situation into balance. Learn how to embody whatever, you can be mad about it, you can be happy about it. The happier you are, the happier things are going to come into your life. So that's why it's kind of saying, like, just be patient, focus on the good, go off and do your own thing while we take care of this. Be grateful for us doing this for you. Be grateful for what you do already have. Don't judge the situation as it being good or bad, or the person not doing it the way you think it should be done. Accept that you can't change that, and don't get in the way of that person's path. Let them live what they need to do in order to grow, okay? Have the discipline to know that and be patient, and to be in a positive state of mind, and trust them, because again, this is not something that is in your control. So try to embody the happy energy, and it can even be about, being excited for and trusting that whatever this situation is going to come together, and it's going to be way better than you even think you want it to be. Like, you could want, Valentine's Day is coming up, you have relationships and friendships. Maybe there's somebody that you've been trying to work a relationship out of, or you have a friendship that you wanted to turn into a relationship, and maybe you were going to ask that friend to go on a date with you, and you know what I mean? But maybe there's something that's blocking it from being able to manifest the way you want it to, but that's because it's not supposed to manifest the way you want it to, and it's actually going to manifest even better than you want it to. So that's also where the control issue comes from, because you can try to control the situation and manipulate it into it manifesting in the way you think it should look. And that's another thing with judgment. You are not God. You are not the creator. You can co-create with the creator, and that's what they're trying to do with you right now. But if you block it if you block it from happening at all, you're just going to be more impatient because it's going to take longer, and you're going to have to accept the responsibility for your emotional state, your mental state, your physical, because you could build up negative energy within your body and make yourself sick, and then maybe on Valentine's you won't even be able to go out, But this situation is behind the scenes, something going on, and is asking you to be patient, because if you can be patient, you're going to be way happier than you even thought this situation would even come out being. Let the universe do what it's got to do. They're working on your behalf to bring this situation into balance. Whatever is going on is an imbalance, okay? Either someone's giving more than the other person, it's an imbalance. Somebody has more feelings for the other. It could be anything, okay? Something is just imbalanced, and it needs to come in balance and in alignment in order to happen. If a relationship, both people need to be in a space of alignment with each other in order to come together. So if one person, wants to be with another person for Valentine's Day and it's a friendship, you got to let the universe balance it out where that friend feels a certain type of way or something like that, or is in a place where they can align with your energy and it will bring it together. But you gotta trust the universe. Have the discipline of accomplishing whatever it is elsewhere. Because if you don't focus on what is and what isn't, and focus on something completely different and kind of like forget about this and put it on the back burner and just be like, okay, I'm not going to deal with that until I have to, because you don't have to deal with it right now. The universe is. Just sit back, go deal with whatever else you have going on that needs focus on, Don't focus on that. Plus, if it's not working out the way you want it to, and it's not going to, don't focus on it, because you're just going to get pissed off, and you can't blame anybody but yourself on what energy and what you want to feel. Like right now, I'm in the process of learning how to be happy and choose to be happy. And it, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is like steps, to happen, my happiness, So it's like, I don't care who you are. If you've been a friend for over 20 years, if I've been with you as boyfriend and girlfriend, or you're my husband or wife, you know what I mean? And I'm not happy with our relationship or where we're at or whatever, and I am looking for the balance, you know what I mean? I gotta be grateful for not having to worry about it and just being like, do whatever you gotta do, like whatever, it's out of my control. Like sometimes we think we have more strength than we really do. Force us to be able to figure out situations, and it just drives us crazy. So it's like, just give your burdens to the universe, sit back, let it manifest the way it's supposed to behind the scenes, and just trust that it's going to. But you got to discipline your mind and have no judgment on that person. Just go off and have fun with your friends. Like, just ignore it. The more you don't focus on it and have resentment or disappointment or feeling let down that it's not happening, and you get mad at that person, you're going to block it. Because that energy is connected to you. So they will feel that energy from you, and they're not going to want to approach you. If you can think about the situation and be happy in the knowing and trusting the universe that they are bringing the situation into balance, and be grateful for it, then go for it. Discipline your mind to be happy and look at the positive of the bigger picture, that you're going to get something even better than you expect, So, yeah. So we have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges, okay? So all of us not feel the same thing, but we go through the same thing. We all judge. I don't want to say lie, but sometimes you feel like no, that's not even one of them. We all judge. We all have trust issues. We all don't want to feel rejection. We don't want to feel neglected. We don't want to be hurt. You know, we want to be accepted. We want reassurance. We want validation. But we look for it outside of ourselves, right? And you could be relying on this person to give you something out of your external world that just they can't right now. And another lesson during the patience is to learn how to embody, how to be positive in a difficult situation and have that discipline while trusting. But if you can have the discipline to control your feelings in a difficult situation, you can also discipline your mind to create and manifest what it is you really want your reality to look like with your mind. And if you can discipline yourself to have positive, happy, thrilling, like looking forward to that manifestation without even seeing it happening at all, but you can discipline your mind to have that happiness feeling behind that manifestation, knowing it's going to happen. That's where learning how to sit in a positive state of mind and energy within the patience is beautiful. And if you can be grateful to be able to learn how to embody a positive, loving, compassionate, kind embodiment, energy, while be patient in letting them bring whatever it is into balance for you. Envy, I think I got off topic kind of with that, but I'm sure you understand. The envy of, like I said, we all have the same stuff, abandonment issues, and it all comes to us in different reasons. We've all been through different challenges, which is what is going on with the judgment, letting this person do what they need to do, learn their own lessons that they came here to learn without judging them if it's good or bad, and just letting it be. And if you focus on them doing it bad because it's not your way, then you're going to attract more of that, and you're going to block this from happening. So learn how to be patient, and in the patience, learn how to have the gratitude for knowing it's going to happen, and it's going to happen even better. It will bring growth from bringing the discipline of the positivity of expanding your consciousness and your awareness to the discipline, to the knowing of everybody has different challenges, but they still are just like you with struggling through trauma, struggling through this or that. Like, you might know the person, but it doesn't mean that you know the person. You might not know their story, but you need to release during the patience, like needing to know and having the reassurance that it is happening behind the scenes. And the only way, well, not the only way, but a way that benefits everybody is not doubting, one, trusting, surrendering to the universe in order to have the embodiment of feeling freedom, happiness, peace, positivity, gratitude, appreciation, being thankful, instead of having these negative, letting down feelings and this and that, of grief, of envy, of doubt, of, blame, you know what I mean? Because grief is, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. If you let go of control, that is letting go of something and letting the opportunity grow on its own. And afterwards, once it's over and done with, and it comes about, you can appreciate the fact that you let control go. You let the idea of you feeling like you had to do this, you had to do that, you had to make this person do this or that in order for you to get what you want. So grief doesn't have to be losing a loved one. It can be, it very well can be. But it can be losing the idea you had about a situation or how you wanted it to happen, or a relationship you thought it was going to be different than what it is, or you looked at a person in like a fantasy way and they weren't. But that can also be your expectations. I mean, you have to lower your expectations. You can't assume a person is going to be everything on your checklist, because we all are human. We all make mistakes. We all have flaws. And you can't change that in a person. You can help them with it depending on what it is. But like, I feel like I repeat myself in like every video, but it's like a different situation. But maybe it needs to be reminded or something. But I don't remember what I was going to say now. Expectations, high standards. Oh yeah, you can help a person change, but what is in you that needs to change in order to help them change? What is it in you that needs to change as a coping mechanism or a cycle? Like, you're used to doing something a certain way, and you could either be stubborn and just be like, no, it has to be done this way because it just does, or maybe that's just what you're used to, so you're scared to get out of your comfort zone and do something different. Like, it doesn't need to be that person. Maybe you respond to them or react in a certain type of way, and that's all you've ever done in relationships, you know what I mean? But have the imagination. Like, you can think of this situation in a fun way. Like, once it's manifested, how do you want it to look? Write it down. Like, if it's a person, you know what I mean? If you've been going out with somebody, and it's not moving along as fast as you want it to, and you want to get engaged or something. Again, Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe you're getting upset and you're getting impatient and not having the gratitude of surrendering, feeling free, learning how to discipline your mind so you can have the imagination. You can have the growth and the trust, learning how to trust, learning how to be happy in difficult situations. The humor, I choose to focus on the lighter side of things, of life. The imagination, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. As kids, it's very easy for us to have an imagination. It's very easy for us to look at the world and think, you don't have bills, you don't have to worry about money, you don't have to do this or that. They have an imagination of, I'm going to be a princess, I'm going to be a firefighter, I'm going to be, you know what I mean? Like, they look at things sometimes as unrealistic, even though nothing really is unrealistic unless you have wicked high standards of a person that maybe can never be fulfilled. And you can be in denial, but the faster you acknowledge the fear and replace it with the insight of awareness, you're able to move on from that, and you can accept that, right? I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Exactly. With imagination, if you can bring your inner child out and let it play and let it have that, even if it is a fairy tale, like, picture yourself going to the restaurant, or picture them, and this is the happiness, the embodiment of, even though it's not happening right now in your way, in your timing, you can learn this lesson of being able to accept that there is nothing you can change, and instead see it for what it is, and learn how to, again, when you need to be patient and wait for things to happen in divine order, stop being in denial that you're scared and doubt it, thinking that you need to know all the answers in order to be able to trust your inner voice to guide you in the right direction, you know, with no judgment. Let it happen on its own. But the more acceptance you have and the better feelings you can have behind it, the faster it's going to manifest. But again, you can't be like doing it for a day and nothing happened whatsoever. You don't hear from that person, like nothing. You can't just give up. That's where the discipline comes. You know, if you want something to happen, you need to discipline your mind, knowing for a fact it is going to happen in due time, and to be excited about it. If you want to get engaged, you have to already embody the feeling of being proposed to and being already engaged. If you want to be with somebody, have the energy of what it would be like if you were with this person and visualize it. If you want to be engaged, you can have the excitement and the looking forward to embodiment of you already using the creative side of your imagination of how you would want to see it happen, but don't have the expectations of that is how it has to happen. That has to be the outcome. Has to be. No, let the universe work its magic for you. Just be excited and trust that it's going to happen in due time. Another thing, like, you have regret, right? You could do something during this time that in you might regret, you know, so just be patient, try to stay positive, because once something's done, you cannot change it. Like, you cannot change the past. Like, there's things that you do regret already in this situation, in this relationship, friendship, that has stunted the growth, or you've, you know, not trusted, have been in denial, have not been able to accept for what it is, surrender, looked at it as a loss. You know what I mean? You can't change it. So just try to move on from it. So just try to move on from it and heal if you have to. Don't keep bugging the person and thinking that's the reason. And you have to keep saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, for them to start moving or showing you the answers that you feel like you need to see in order to not be scared that it might not happen. And that's abandonment issues, you know? Those are trust issues. Those are feeling like you know, are being rejected or neglected, or maybe you're not being paid attention to right now, you know? Just have the imagination of it already happening with the happiness, feelings, and the gratitude behind it. That's how you manifest. You visualize, have the gratitude, loving, compassionate, whatever feeling behind the manifestation that it is you want, and visualize it the way you want it. And expect it to happen, but don't have expectations on the outcome of how it's supposed to happen, right? Honesty, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. See, if you're trying to even find all the answers, you know, you don't even know if you're gonna find the truth, you know? So sometimes it's just exactly that. Don't doubt, just release the need to know the answers, so you know you don't get lied to as well. But also don't lie to yourself. Like what it says, you can always be honest with yourself or others, but others aren't always going to be with you, or you, that's not always true, but you don't know exactly if they are. But there's things in this that are negative that maybe you're also not being honest with yourself, and that's why acceptance is here. Maybe, you know, you're not honest with yourself about the fact that you're having trouble being patient, or you're blaming the other person for your happiness and relying on them, or maybe you are in denial that you're scared and don't want to admit that to yourself and bring it into awareness of your consciousness. Maybe you do regret things from the past and you don't want to look at it. Maybe you do have judgment of this person. Maybe you feel bad about looking at them as a bad person, you know, and not being able to get over that. Maybe they did something that hurt you, and that's also why you can be doubting it and envying it, or envying another person that it had to do with, and looking at it as loss rather than gain. Okay? Because then we have pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Like I said, with judgment, we all are going through the same shit, just different challenges in different ways. So if you're in a fight with this person, don't be stubborn. Don't have pride. That person had the same kind of shit growing up. You know, we all have inner child wounds. Say this, we're all children walking around as adults with outdated programming that we learned how to survive with and coping with as defensive, you know, whatever mechanisms, coping skills. So we're at, like, some people are at, like, a kid level thinking of, you know, having a tantrum if they don't get what they want. Like, something like that. So don't have pride. And, you know, some people need the reassurance. Like, once that person finally comes around, or once that person does try to show you the reassurance that you've been wanting, sometimes people are like, well, no. And they put their pride in front of the acceptance and gratitude that it's finally here, and put their pride in front. And they have to be all prideful and be, you know, like it says with these, everybody has different challenges. Everybody has different ways of doing things. Everybody has different lives, stories, like coping mechanisms, like childhoods of why they do the things they do, why their motives are the way they are, right? So it says empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. Again, like I said, don't have your pride. Like, let that person do what they have to do. See it from a different perspective. And if you can see it from a different perspective, it also can be easier to look at it in a lighter side. And learn, discipline, how to be able to do that. You can always change the story. Also, if you're thinking a dominant thought about this relationship or this person, or how they're doing something, or what you don't like about it, that is going to stick the most. So if you don't trust this person, that is going to be a dominant thought. That is going to become an addiction thought, because it's being thought over and over and over again. So if you can change that into a different affirmation, different perspective that's more, that brings more positivity into the situation, that will start to manifest into more 33 of a positive, not only feeling of well-being, but into the situation, into other areas of your life, you know. Obviously, there's fear of failure, of receiving this love, which makes sense. All right. So fear, I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to live happy life with no distractions, healing with the dark night of the soul, doing things that make me happy, finding things that make me happy, spending more time with people that make me happy. Anything that I can do that has an effect of happiness, I've been doing. And that is a test of love, you know, because there can be something that pops up, like this situation, and the universe will test you to be like, okay, are you still going to have fear? Are you going to trust me no matter how it looks? and realize that you are unconditionally loved by the universe and they want you to have a good life. They don't want you to fear them. I don't know. Whatever. And, you know, failure, if you regret the past, something happened that made it the way it is now and it's unbalanced and, you know, you guys are whatever, that you're doubting and you need trust within yourself. You need to build this trust within yourself and work on the doubt and doubting yourself, because this person also can't do any of the things that you want them to do until you have it within themselves, yourself, embody it in order for them to heal it as well, right? So failure is just another way of understanding that you are human and you made a mistake, which gives you another opportunity to love, which is this entire thing. It's teaching you from the beginning to focus on yourself. Don't focus on what this person is doing. Don't focus on what is not working. Don't focus on stress. Because again, if you're thinking about this situation and you're having the feeling of stress and you're having visions of, you know, them cheating with another person, this and that, like that will manifest in other ways, in other situations of your life. You will start to feel, I have to go for a second, you will start to feel stressed. So you can't have stress and try to manifest. Well, that is cool. You can't be in a stressful state and be trying to manifest your desires. It's not a good idea. So I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, which is love, right? Perseverance is pretty much just keep going. Again, discipline your mind and keep going. Accept it the way it is. And it will bring you balance as well. You stability in your own life. And you'll be able to focus on yourself. And again, what you want to do, what your passions are. But just keep going and know that whatever you set your mind to will manifest. But you have to trust within yourself as well. And surrender to the universe and trust that they'll take care of it. They'll give you a better outcome than you even expected. And release the need to know all the answers of how it's going to happen. Okay? At the end of the day, there will be a death within this. Okay? I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So, pretty much when you have the death card, it is what it is. There could be an ending which has to do with the loss of the grief. But once that cycle is out, there can be a new cycle that comes in that ends the bullshit. And you have a new beginning, either with this person, without this person, whatever it is, it's going to work on your behalf. It's a win-win situation. And accept it. Because the universe knows what's the best for you, what's going to make you happy. Maybe that person isn't for you, and the universe knows that person is not for you, and they have your soulmate waiting right behind this. As soon as you realize you're not, you made a mistake, out of fear even, don't have the loss, have the outlook of love coming towards you. There was a mistake. It's not a failure. It's a mistake that you learned that did not work in that relationship with that person. So your next relationship, you know now not to make the same mistake. Hold on a second. Okay, so endings and new beginnings are going to be happening during this time. Practicing love, practicing during the patience, during the hard times, having the ability to discipline yourself, to grow and trust, to know it's okay, to be in positive, loving, compassionate feelings, emotions. Not only for yourself, but have empathy for the other person, because you don't know what they're going through in order to come together with you. Like, they're going through something right now for you technically, but for them. And until they can do that for them, they can't come together and bring balance and stability and security and safety for you. Okay? So think of it like that. Think of it as that person is working on themselves. I'm going to work on myself. So when we come together, it's balanced, it's more aligned, it's more fair, it's, you know what I mean? So while you're doing this, we are here to help other people find their ascension to love, to their path, right? Like this is something I do. Service, I feel good when I can help others. So if you're feeling hopeless or helpless or, you know, just down and out, go try to help somebody. If your friend needs a ride somewhere, if, you know, somebody asks, you offer your help to somebody, you know, even if it's as simple as you see an elderly, you know, person and they have a shopping cart and you ask them, do you need help putting these away in your car? Like, there's so many ways that you would service people, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Even if you make somebody smile. I try to make somebody smile every day, if I remember. Sometimes, you know, I can be in my own little bubble as well. But if you can do this, it's going to bring success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Even being able to have empathy for the other person is love. If you love that person, give them the chance to learn their lessons so they can come to you in balance, if that's what the situation is. Again, if it's like an engagement or something, maybe they're not ready to commit and they need to work on that in order to be and feel good enough for you, maybe, to commit to you. Or maybe they have insecurity issues that they're working on because you care that much to them. They care that much about you to go through that healing, to face those painful wounds that they might have from other relationships and see why they didn't work, why they did the things that they did, knowing the things that they did that did not help them, so they don't make the same mistake with you. So maybe they feel like there was a failure in your relationship with love too, and they're being tested to resolve it and live in the energy of love. Like, they're doing that for them, but it's gonna benefit you. So let them do what they need to do. Don't focus on what they're doing. Focus on you. And if you're not in communication with them, definitely don't think about what they're doing. Like, fuck them. I don't mean it like that, but like, focus on you. Like, what are you doing? Because even when you come into this relationship, you don't want to lose yourself within them. So that's another reason why you're being tested of love, because of your fear, and maybe even your empathy, your manifesting abilities. You're having to accept, you know, there's going to be challenges. There's always challenges in relationships. It's not perfect, and this is a challenge. And the universe is asking you to accept, persevere, discipline, without judgment, trust, let this grow, and care about your well-being. Don't deny the fact that, you know, acknowledge that the fear is there so you can work on those trauma triggers, whatever, and bring them into awareness in order to not only feel like you're not only feel regretful still, but also at a loss, okay? Or maybe you're a very prideful person. But instead, learn through the difficulty of patience to learn this stuff. Because also, if you work on yourself to do all this inner work, it will affect the other person to be able to heal even faster as well, because you guys are connected with energy. So whatever you do affects them. Like I said, if you're mad at them, they're going to feel that energy, and they can also grow resentment towards you, and then it's like, what's the point, you know? And it will block it from moving. So you got to try to remember that. There is going to be change. I mean, it's death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Change, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement, like I said. Just said it. Courage, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Again, just like I said. Face your inner work, face your traumas, face your insecurities. What will help to learn or heal in order to not have as many difficulties in this relationship, or even to feel safe in this relationship. And also to learn who you are and who you want to be in this relationship at this time and point, because it's gonna change. You're gonna grow, because we don't put ourselves into connections unless we're gonna evolve with that person. And if you're not evolving, endings are merely beginnings, and it should be changed. And the universe might change it for you, sweethearts. So, but remember, you might actually be in denial of not wanting to be with that person, and you're just scared of being alone. Grief. But maybe this is going to be something that you're going to have to grieve over. And it's telling you, don't look at it as a loss or a failure. And in the patience of letting the universe balance out the situation and acceptance, so you can feel the freedom again of being single, being happy, being able to embody that gratitude, happiness, positivity, you know, love. Feel that love for yourself. Feel like you are in love already. Be in love with yourself. Learn about yourself. Because if you don't learn about yourself, you don't know who you are in order to be in a relationship. Because if you don't know who you are, it's going to help with having the courage and being honest with that person. And if you can't have communication, there's going to be more problems. Because when we don't communicate our feelings and emotions, because we were grown up kind of hush-hush about them and go along your way, so it's hard for us sometimes to open up to people and be vulnerable. But if you can't do that with somebody that you want to marry, and problems, complications come about, how are you going to be able to resolve them in a way where it's not affecting your health? Like your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. And you can't blame it on the other person, because that's the energy that you decide to be in. And the only way that that energy will change is within you. You know? With your self-esteem. Insecurities from other relationships. Think of this stuff. Like, think of it. You might really want it, but it's also not coming about because neither one of you have built the character that God wants you to in order to bring it together yet. It's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready to happen. You guys need to look at yourselves. Figure out who you want to be. Be more independent and not be codependent. It will bring peace with the freedom. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energies. See, that is your decision. If you want to be at peace and feel free, or feel negative and putting yourself down and being resentful and feeling hate, you know what I mean? There's obviously something that needs to be forgiven also in order for this to move along. But the first person that you forgive is yourself, because a lot of people think that they failed and they put themselves down. And it does hurt their self-esteem. And it hurts their self-esteem where it hurts their courage. And if you actually really don't, be honest with yourself, if you really don't have it in you and you don't even really realize that you're not ready to be in a marriage, or you're not ready for a commitment, or you have insecurities about commitments where, you know, you'll go for unavailable people, or like subconsciously, because subconsciously, you know, that person is unavailable, emotionally unavailable, and they won't commit to you. So it's kind of like, I'm gonna like them anyways and chase them anyways, because then I kind of have something to do and I'm in a relationship, but I'm not. So it's like a limerence relationship, or they can be with somebody already, but they're not going to leave that person. Doing the inner work, finding, I don't like saying finding who you are, learning about yourself, because you're the only person you're ever going to be able to legit rely on. Legit. You're the only one. So you have to have this stuff within yourself without relying on another person to fulfill those voids for you. So feeling safe, feeling the self-esteem, the confidence within yourself to make decisions. Be truthful with yourself even. Like, don't lie to yourself. That's even something to do that's hard, because sometimes we want to deny and think everything is okay when it really isn't. You know, forgive yourselves for whatever. We have to learn that loss is just an opportunity to appreciate it. If you lost a person, you want them to come back. Did you really think that you, like, maybe you even broke up with them, maybe you were like mad and you're just like, fuck you, I don't want to be with you anymore, you know what I mean? And now you're looking at it like, wow, I'm really hurting from this. I didn't realize that person actually meant that much to me. And it's an opportunity to appreciate that person, appreciate that lesson, appreciate the situation, appreciate your feelings, accept them for what they are, because you're feeling love. You're feeling appreciation and feeling thankful for that person. And it could even be what they taught you, what they've done for you. Because when we're mad at people, we don't always look at what they've done for us. We only look at what they're not doing for us now, in that moment, which is usually not fulfilling our needs. But again, that's why you need to learn how to do it on your own and not rely on somebody else, because that will cause problems. Because if that person does something and you rely on them for your happiness and your voids to be filled, what happens if that person can't meet those needs and expectations? Some people run if they feel like they can't meet your needs. They'll run. They can love you to death, but some people have self-esteem issues, or they just know that they can't meet your needs and they love you too much to put you in a situation where you're not going to get what you want. But some people don't tell you that. They just leave and disappear, even though it's out of love for you, you know. Doing this work will bring you abundance, and you'll learn you can manifest whatever it is you want if you discipline your well-being, how you want to feel, what you want to manifest, how you want to feel about what you want to manifest, in patience, in challenges. That's where you learn the challenges. That's where you strengthen your character, the challenges. And that's why we are put through that, because we need to build our character into what God wants us to in order for us to be ready. Because if you're not ready, you're going to waste the gift. But if He gives it to you, that means you aren't ready. He wouldn't give it to you if you weren't ready. So do the healing, and when you come together, you'll know that you are abundant, you are a limitless being, and you can manifest whatever you desire in the physical reality. It does not have to be money, by the way. Again, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn adversity, right? Indecision, you're not going to be able to make your own decisions if you're blocking the intuition of trust in yourself and in all aspects of your life, right? Just said that. Plus, inner child work. If you were brought up, especially in like my generation, you know, where that's not true, but whatever. where, you know, you weren't allowed to speak for yourself. You had everybody else make the decisions for you. And that's another thing that people can do. They can put their decisions in another person's hands and give them their power, give away your power. If you can't make up your own decision, somebody's going to do it for you. Either the universe, another person. You can't just stand still. And if you do, that is a decision to stand still and do nothing. You know, loneliness, I know that I'm never alone. Don't feel like you need this person to feel like you're not alone. Like, there's a different, I already said this too, there's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. When you feel lonely, you feel like you need somebody to be there with you. You feel like nobody wants you, nobody loves you. You feel abandoned, you feel neglected, rejected. But you also have to remember, rejection is God's protection. So if this person isn't in your life right now, there's a reason for it, and be grateful for it. Okay? Because they could bring despair to your life, and maybe shit really is going good. You know what I mean? You're never alone. You also have the universe, God, source, your angels, your ancestors, your sin masters, spirit guides, past over loved ones. Like, they're all there for you. All you have to do is ask. All you have to do is call upon them. Ask for guidance of where you're supposed to go and look for the signs. Listen to your intuition. Okay? Purpose. I know what I'm here to do. Once you do this, you'll start to learn love for yourself first. You are stuck with your soul, for the rest of for eternity, okay? You are the only one that will stick by your side, ever. Even being a soul, having this human experience in a physical body. Either way, your soul is the only soul that's ever going to be with you. So you got to kind of like enjoy spending time with yourself alone without feeling lonely and being comfortable in the silence, because it's where the healing comes. And a lot of us will watch TV, listen to music, clean, make ourselves busy to ignore and not want to feel what is bothering us. The thoughts, the pain, and lie to ourselves and not be honest, and we deny it. Like, no, everything's okay, I'm fine. No, you're not. You need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn how to be okay with being alone. I had to do it for 12 years, and that's part of my purpose. I had to do that to start my healing process, to love myself, to teach other people how to do it and how I did it, what I went through, how I healed, how I realized the connections. If you look at my other videos, I'm able to connect why this is the way it is, also with the energy, with law of attraction, with inner child work. I can do that for you. They might be long, but they're beneficial. But that's up to you. I can only do videos and tell you stuff. It's up to you if you want to listen. But stop worrying about the situation, okay? I'm learning that worrying doesn't change the outcome. Exactly. Don't stress yourself out. Just let it be. Worrying is like not even supposed to be like an emotion. God gave us whatever you believe in. Higher power gave us the ability to feel empathy and compassion. Like, he gave us those conscious feelings, you know? You have the choice if you want to use them or not, instead of worrying. So worry is technically not supposed to be a feeling, because we're not supposed to worry about anything, because we're supposed to give our burdens away to the universe and just trust. The last one we have is guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Don't have guilt about things you've done. Forgive yourself. Don't feel guilty about how the situation happened. Let it go. If it doesn't help you grow or evolve, let it go. Because your soul knows better. Your soul knows love. Your soul knows. Your higher self knows. So if you can't align with your higher self, and your higher self doesn't know any other feeling but how to love yourself and others and your life. So if you have those outdated programs from your childhood, be aware of it. Watch how you act, react, think. Let thoughts go in your head and listen. Do I actually believe that, or did somebody tell me that and I just went with it because I wanted them to like me? Do I really believe in that or not? Listen and pay attention and be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of the things you say, what you affirm, what you think, what you believe. Again, how you react, like your emotions, your feelings about things, what you put it behind in manifestation mode. You have to look at all this stuff, because if you don't look at it, sit in the silence, even if I suffer in silence. Nobody would know, but I do. But I purposely do it. I want to do it, so I feel the pain, release it, learn, don't do it again. I also know how painful it feels, so I'm not going to put myself through that, you know. Talk to your ancestors. They can help you. Your ancestors are here to help you break those cycles of trauma so it doesn't go down generations to generations. Like, you're here to break the cycle, right? Completion of healing. You can do it effortlessly, or you can go with the flow of like the river, or you can try to fight it and try to move up. So if you go down effortlessly with the flow of it, it's going to be easier on you, and you're not going to resist it from being blocked of love, of being able to happen, right? Something could have happened around the last full moon, which I think was in Cancer. Just breathe. Have the effortless energy. Keep going. Persevere. Discipline your mind. Learn how to live in patience and listen to yourself and be grateful for it. Balance out yourself before, stay radiant through it. Something could have happened during the summer. Remember your dreams, okay? A lot of people are saying, listen to your dreams right now. It's very important. So if you wake up and you had a dream, try to write it down. It's hard. It's kind of like pressing the snooze button when, you have to get up, because creation is coming. There is creation. You gotta focus. Because there's a promise. But you gotta find your own safe haven, your own safe, you need your own safe place. But your own safe place is within you. So take the time to be alone. Don't move backwards. This is part of your karma. Things are going to come up and emerge. Have that child innocence. Still be aware and be careful and look for signs of red flags. I'm not saying because of your person, but your awareness, your thoughts. Earth magic is like fantasy to me. Have fun with it. Your imagination, and be grounded. If you believe in fairies, do something with that. Just stay grounded. This is a spirit. This can be a spiritual relationship situation, and there is communion coming together, a message, something. So take care of yourself, nurture the relationship. you have the instinct. You know the unfoldment is coming. Look, there's a lotus. Just stay in stillness. Stay in your safe haven. So the activation of the power within you goes with the flow of things. Sorry. So going with the flow of things will bring the blessings because you won't be resisting. Something could have happened that needed to be released or was released during fall. Releasing the resistance to trying to control, the blessings. The answers will come. The anger, the situation, maybe a fight needs to be handled. Communication, ceremony can come out of it. Maybe there is that proposal. Maybe there's an invocation of talking to God or whoever more. This is a quest, a vision quest to see, to learn, to bring passion. Find your passion. There's a rebirth. Maybe something happened during the spring, or spring is coming. Maybe something's going to happen soon. But reflect on the situation and within yourself. Let things come to the surface that you have numbed in order to be vulnerable with this person. Be able to have those conversations that would be hard to have and tell your emotions. That's awesome. That's the last one after it's saying bring up your trauma. That's stuff that you've numbed in order to be vulnerable in accepting and get out of denial of your trauma. Be honest with yourself. It will help your courage. It will help you change. It will bring this whole thing into alignment. Being vulnerable is not weak. It's one of the bravest things that you can do. Being vulnerable is being brave. Right? All right, guys. This is not obviously for children. Have a good day.